This wasn't just a European story. The Byzantine Empire, heir to Rome's legacy in the East, flourished. It preserved classical knowledge and developed its own unique artistic and architectural traditions. Meanwhile, a new force emerged from the Arabian Peninsula, Islam. Spreading rapidly, Islam united diverse peoples under a common faith and fostered a vibrant intellectual culture. From Baghdad to Cordoba, Islamic scholars pushed the boundaries of human understanding. The world was interconnected, a tapestry woven from different threads of culture and knowledge. Middle Ages expert, media, medieval scholars in a bustling library, reenactment of a medieval debate. This era, often misunderstood as a period of stagnation, was anything but. It saw the rise of powerful institutions, the church, the caliphate, that shaped the political and spiritual landscape. It witnessed the clash of civilizations and the exchange of ideas, and it laid the groundwork for the transformative period that was to come, the Renaissance. One of the defining features of the Renaissance was humanism, a philosophical movement that emphasized the value and agency of human beings. Humanists believed in the power of reason and observation, challenging the dominance of religious dogma. This shift in perspective had profound implications for art, science, and the way people viewed the world. It was a time when individuals like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael pushed the boundaries of artistic expression. Renaissance scholar. But the Renaissance wasn't just about art and philosophy, it was also a time of groundbreaking scientific discoveries. Nicholas Copernicus challenged the geocentric model of the universe, proposing that the Earth revolves around the Sun. Galileo Galilei, using the newly invented telescope, made observations that supported Copernicus's heliocentric theory. These discoveries revolutionized our understanding of the cosmos and laid the foundation for modern astronomy. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century was a watershed moment. It allowed for the mass production of books, making knowledge more accessible to a wider audience. This fueled the spread of Renaissance ideas across Europe and beyond, challenging traditional ways of thinking and paving the way for the scientific revolution. These voyages of discovery had a profound impact on global history. They led to the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures between Europe and the rest of the world. New crops, such as potatoes and tomatoes, were introduced to Europe from the Americas, transforming diets and agriculture. However, this era of exploration also had a dark side. Colonialism analyst, the establishment of colonial empires by European powers, led to the exploitation of resources and people in colonized lands. The transatlantic slave trade, a tragic chapter in human history, saw millions of Africans forcibly transported to the Americas as slaves. The consequences of colonialism, economic exploitation, cultural destruction, and the legacy of racism continue to shape the world today. The age of exploration and the rise of colonialism marked a turning point in human history. It was a time of both progress and exploitation, of cultural exchange and violent conquest. The seeds of globalization were sown during this period, but they were often planted in the soil of oppression and inequality. Understanding this complex legacy is crucial for navigating the challenges of a globalized world today. The rise of Islam had a profound impact on the intellectual landscape of the Middle Ages. From the 8th to the 13th centuries, the Islamic world experienced a golden age of scientific and cultural advancement. Scholars from Baghdad to Cordoba made groundbreaking discoveries in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy, preserving and expanding upon the knowledge of ancient Greece, Persia, and India. The Islamic world became a hub of intellectual exchange, where scholars from different cultures and faiths collaborated, translating texts, conducting experiments, and pushing the boundaries of human understanding. Middle Ages. Expert. While the Islamic world flourished, Europe began to emerge from its so-called Dark Ages. The Catholic Church, which had grown in power and influence, played a crucial role in reviving learning. Monasteries became centers of scholarship, preserving ancient texts and fostering a love for knowledge. The Carolingian Renaissance, a brief but significant period of intellectual revival in the 8th and 9th centuries, saw a renewed interest in classical learning and laid the groundwork for the later, more impactful Renaissance. This period witnessed the establishment of schools, the standardization of script, and a renewed focus on education, all contributing to the gradual reawakening of Europe. These seemingly disparate threads, the rise of Islam, the Byzantine Empire's endurance, and the Catholic Church's growing influence, intertwined to shape the cultural and intellectual landscape of the Middle Ages. It was a period of both continuity and change, of preserving ancient wisdom while laying the foundation for a new era of discovery and innovation. The stage was set for the Renaissance, a period that would draw inspiration from the past while boldly forging a new path towards the future.
The Islamic Golden Age stands as a testament to intellectual curiosity and cultural exchange. Scholars from diverse backgrounds converged in cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Cordoba. These centers of learning became vibrant marketplaces of ideas, sparking new discoveries.
The House of Wisdom in Baghdad epitomized this spirit of exploration.
Islamic scholars made significant contributions to various fields. Mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi developed algebra and Arabic numerals. Astronomers refined models and developed instruments like the astrolabe. Physicians like Ibn Sina advanced medical knowledge with works like the Canon of Medicine.
The impact extended beyond science and mathematics to art and literature. Art and architecture flourished, leaving behind breathtaking landmarks. Literature and poetry thrived with scholars like Rumi and Omar Khayyam.
These achievements continue to inspire and captivate people around the world.
Emerging from the Middle Ages, Europe experienced a profound cultural and intellectual transformation known as the Renaissance. This rebirth signified a renewed interest in classical learning, art, and philosophy. It was a vibrant period of innovation, driven by a spirit of inquiry and a celebration of human potential.
Humanism placed humans at the center of their own universe. Emphasizing reason, observation, and individual potential, it challenged religious dogma. This shift impacted art, literature, and science.
Artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael created masterpieces exploring perspective and anatomy. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg was pivotal. It allowed for the mass production of books, making knowledge more accessible.
The legacy of the Renaissance continues to inspire us today. The Middle Ages and the Renaissance bridged the gap between the ancient world and the modern era. The Middle Ages preserved ancient knowledge through institutions like the Byzantine Empire and the Catholic Church. The Renaissance rediscovered and reinterpreted classical knowledge, infusing it with a new spirit of inquiry. The Islamic Golden Age preserved and expanded upon ancient knowledge, influencing the Renaissance. The Middle Ages guarded ancient wisdom, while the Renaissance ignited intellectual curiosity and innovation.
The Renaissance's spirit of inquiry ignited a desire within Europeans to venture beyond the known world. The Age of Exploration, commencing in the 15th century, witnessed intrepid European explorers embarking on daring voyages into uncharted waters.
Technological advancements like the caravel and improved navigational tools empowered these explorers to navigate vast distances.
Christopher Columbus's 1492 voyage led to the European encounter with the Americas, altering history.
Portuguese explorers established trading posts along Africa, with Vasco da Gama reaching India in 1498.
Ferdinand Magellan's circumnavigation in 1519 demonstrated the true expanse of the Earth.
These voyages had profound consequences, leading to new trade routes and cultural exchanges. They connected Europe to the Americas, Africa, and Asia, marking the early stages of globalization.
European nations established colonies, beginning a new era of colonialism with lasting impacts.
The Age of Exploration was a period of extraordinary human achievement and a testament to the Renaissance spirit. These voyages expanded horizons, but also led to exploitation and conflict.
The encounter between Europe and the world shaped global history, leaving a complex legacy. The Age of Exploration, driven by economic motives, led European powers to establish vast empires across the globe.
The Spanish amassed fortunes in gold and silver through forced labor and exploitation of indigenous populations.
Colonial empires relied on mercantilism, viewing colonies as sources of raw materials and markets for goods.
This system fueled the transatlantic slave trade, subjecting millions of Africans to forced labor on plantations.
Indigenous populations were decimated by disease, displacement, and warfare, their cultures suppressed.
Colonialism interconnected the world through trade and migration, but left a legacy of exploitation and inequality. The Age of Exploration, with its unprecedented movement of people, plants, animals, and ideas across continents, triggered a biological and cultural exchange of extraordinary magnitude, known as the Columbian Exchange. This exchange, while facilitating the globalization of trade and cuisine, also had unintended and often devastating consequences for both the Old World and the New World.
The transfer of crops such as potatoes, tomatoes, maize, and beans from the Americas to Europe, Asia, and Africa revolutionized agriculture and diets, contributing to population growth and the diversification of food cultures around the world.
However, this exchange was not without its dark side. European diseases such as smallpox, measles, and influenza, to which indigenous populations had no immunity, ravaged the Americas, decimating native populations and facilitating European conquest.
The introduction of livestock, such as horses, cattle, and pigs, to the Americas, while providing new sources of food and labor, also had unintended ecological consequences, altering landscapes and impacting native flora and fauna.
The Columbian Exchange also facilitated the transfer of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices. European printing techniques, architectural styles, and religious beliefs spread to the Americas, influencing the development of colonial societies.
Conversely, knowledge of indigenous agricultural practices, medicinal plants, and cultural traditions made their way back to Europe, enriching European knowledge and contributing to the scientific revolution.
The Columbian Exchange, a testament to the interconnectedness of the world, had a profound and lasting impact on global history, shaping demographics, economies, and environments. While it facilitated the exchange of valuable crops, technologies, and cultural practices, it also led to the devastation of indigenous populations, the introduction of invasive species, and the homogenization of certain cultural practices.
Understanding the complexities of the Columbian Exchange is crucial for comprehending the globalized world we live in today, a world shaped by centuries of biological and cultural exchange. Section 4. Seeds of Resistance. Challenging Colonial Domination.
The imposition of colonial rule, while often brutal and exploitative, did not go unchallenged. From the Americas to Africa to Asia, indigenous populations rose up in resistance, seeking to preserve their cultures and reclaim their lands. These acts of resistance took many forms, from armed rebellion to acts of civil disobedience and cultural preservation. In the Americas, the Inca and Pueblo people staged uprisings against Spanish rule. The Haitian Revolution saw enslaved Africans overthrow French colonial rule, establishing the first independent Black republic. Indigenous intellectuals, writers, and artists played a crucial role in preserving their cultures. The struggles against colonial rule demonstrated the indomitable spirit of colonized peoples. These movements ultimately led to the dismantling of colonial empires and a new era of post-colonial nation-building.
Section 1. The Engine of Change. Technological innovations and their impacts.
The 18th century witnessed the dawn of a new era, the Industrial Revolution. This period of unprecedented technological innovation transformed societies from agrarian to industrial. Groundbreaking inventions harnessed new sources of energy, ushering in an era of productivity and economic growth.
The steam engine, a marvel of engineering, emerged as a symbol of this transformative era. Invented by James Watt, it replaced human and animal labor in many industries. The textile industry surged with the spinning jenny and power loom, automating thread and cloth production. Advancements in iron production and machine tools laid the foundation for mass production.
Transportation was revolutionized by the steam locomotive and steamship. Railroads facilitated rapid transportation of goods and people, fueling economic growth. Steamships enabled faster transoceanic travel and trade, accelerating globalization. These advancements had profound social, economic, and environmental consequences.
The Industrial Revolution unleashed a wave of innovation that continues to shape the world today. It marked a turning point, propelling societies into the modern era. However, it also brought challenges like social upheaval and environmental degradation. The rise of the machines, reshaping society, economy, and environment.
The Industrial Revolution reshaped social, economic, and environmental landscapes. Cities swelled as rural populations migrated for factory jobs. This led to overcrowding, unsanitary conditions, and social unrest.
The factory system transformed work, threatening skilled artisans. Long hours, low wages, and dangerous conditions sparked reform efforts.
The Industrial Revolution brought growth and prosperity for factory owners. Mass production led to a global market and flourishing capitalism.
However, it caused air and water pollution and deforestation. The environmental impacts were lasting and profound. The Industrial Revolution fueled a wave of imperialist expansion. Industrialized nations, hungry for raw materials and new markets, scrambled for colonies in Africa and Asia.
This new imperialism had a profound impact on colonized regions, shaping their destinies for generations.
European powers, driven by superiority, carved up Africa, extracting resources and leaving populations impoverished.
Resistance was met with brutal repression, fueling resentment and future independence movements.
In Asia, European powers established spheres of influence, exemplified by the Opium Wars between Britain and China.
The legacies of imperialism, from economic inequality to political instability, continue to resonate today.
The Industrial Revolution brought technological advancement, but worsened social inequalities and exploitation. The gap between the wealthy elite and the working class widened dramatically.
Industrialists amassed fortunes while workers toiled in dangerous conditions for meager wages.
Child labor epitomized the human cost of progress. The environmental consequences were equally profound. Burning fossil fuels released massive pollutants, contributing to air pollution and climate change.
The social and environmental costs sparked resistance and reform efforts. Labor movements demanded better conditions and an end to child labor.
The 20th century, marked by technological advancements, was also scarred by 2 world wars. These conflicts reshaped political boundaries and left a legacy of trauma.
World War I began in 1914 after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, escalating into a global war.
Trench warfare on the Western Front left a generation scarred.
The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 imposed harsh penalties on Germany, fueling resentment.
The Great Depression paved the way for totalitarian regimes in Germany, Italy, and Japan.
World War II began in 1939 with Nazi Germany's invasion of Poland, resulting in millions of casualties.
The Holocaust, the genocide of 6 million Jews, showed the depths of human depravity. The 20th century was an era of global conflicts and intense ideological struggle. Competing visions for society clashed on the world stage.
In Germany, Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party seized power in 1933, transforming Germany into a totalitarian dictatorship. In Italy, Benito Mussolini's fascism emphasized extreme nationalism and authoritarianism. Communism, promising a classless society, gained traction in Russia with Lenin's Bolsheviks in 1917.
These totalitarian regimes profoundly impacted the 20th century. Fascism, defeated in World War II, left a legacy of destruction and genocide. Colonized peoples rose up, leading to the dismantling of European empires and new nations' emergence. The aftermath of World War II witnessed a bipolar world dominated by the United States and the Soviet Union.
This ideological rivalry, known as the Cold War, shaped international relations and fueled proxy wars.
Both sides engaged in a costly arms race, stockpiling nuclear weapons and creating constant tension.
The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, deterred a direct nuclear exchange.
Proxy wars, fueled by superpower rivalry, resulted in millions of casualties and widespread instability.
The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War.
The 20th century, marked by progress and horrors, left a complex legacy.
World wars fostered international cooperation, leading to the United Nations.
Cold War struggles spurred technological advancements and the triumph of democratic ideals.
Remarkable advancements in science and technology revolutionized communication and life.
These advancements present new challenges, from AI ethics to environmental issues.
The lessons of the 20th century remind us of the importance of diplomacy and peace.
Ideological clashes highlight the need for tolerance and collective action for the environment.
The 20th century serves as a warning and inspiration, reminding us of human capacity for good and evil.
It inspires us to address global challenges and strive for a sustainable future.
The path forward demands learning from the past and working together for a better future. From the dimly lit scriptoriums of medieval monasteries to the neon-lit avenues of modern metropolises, the journey of civilization has been one of constant evolution and transformation. We've witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth and clash of ideologies, and the relentless march of scientific discovery, each era leaving its own indelible mark on the tapestry of human history. The story we've explored from the Dark Ages to the global conflicts of the 20th century is not merely a collection of names, dates, and events. It's a testament to the enduring human spirit, our capacity for both creation and destruction, for innovation and adaptation, for cooperation and conflict. The threads of culture, religion, and science have been interwoven throughout this epic saga, shaping the course of civilization in profound and often unpredictable ways. The rise of Islam, with its emphasis on knowledge and scholarship, ignited a golden age of scientific discovery, while the Renaissance, fueled by a rediscovery of classical learning, ushered in an era of artistic, intellectual, and scientific flourishing. The age of exploration, driven by a thirst for knowledge and wealth, connected continents and cultures, but it also sowed the seeds of colonialism, exploitation, and conflict that continue to resonate today. The Industrial Revolution, a testament to human ingenuity, transformed societies and economies, but it also exacerbated existing inequalities, fueled imperial ambitions, and left an indelible mark on the planet's ecosystems. The 20th century, with its two world wars and the chilling prospect of nuclear annihilation, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked hatred and intolerance. Yet from the ashes of these global conflicts emerged a renewed commitment to international cooperation, a recognition of the interconnectedness of our world, and a growing awareness of the need to address global challenges collectively. Throughout this historical odyssey, science has played a pivotal role, shaping our understanding of the universe and our place within it. From the ancient Greeks' early attempts to understand the natural world through reason and observation, to the mind-boggling discoveries of modern physics, astronomy, and biology, the pursuit of knowledge has been a driving force in human progress. The invention of the printing press, a technological marvel of the Renaissance, democratized access to knowledge, accelerating the spread of ideas and fueling the scientific revolution. The Industrial Revolution, driven by breakthroughs in steam power, mechanization, and manufacturing, transformed the way we live and work, while also presenting new challenges related to social inequality, environmental degradation, and the ethical implications of technological advancement. The 20th century witnessed an explosion of scientific discovery, from the development of antibiotics and vaccines that have saved countless lives to the invention of the computer and the internet, technologies that have fundamentally reshaped communication, information sharing, and the way we interact with the world around us. As we stand at the cusp of the 25th century, the pace of scientific discovery shows no signs of slowing down. Artificial intelligence, gene editing, renewable energy technologies, and space exploration hold immense promise for solving some of humanity's most pressing challenges. From eradicating diseases to addressing climate change to pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and exploration. However, these advancements also present new ethical dilemmas and potential risks that demand careful consideration and responsible stewardship. The journey of civilization is far from over. We stand at a crossroads, facing unprecedented challenges and opportunities. Climate change, resource depletion, and social inequality demand our attention. Our interconnected world requires cooperation, empathy, and shared responsibility. Tolerance, human rights, and peaceful conflict resolution are crucial. Curiosity and innovation will guide us through the 21st century. Investing in education and critical thinking empowers future generations. The choices we make today will shape our future. Let us choose wisely.